Hello and welcome to another episode of Bored and Annoyed, where this week we're discussing the Cowboys hiring Mike McCarthy as their new coach.
He slept over at Jerry Jones's house.
Yes.
So we'll be doing an hour and a half on this.
He booped him on his nose just like Seth Rogen, Green.
Do you think he served Jerry Jones breakfast in bed the next morning? Maybe snuggled with him a bit?
I think he probably ate the breakfast.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hey, Cowboys have a new coach.
They're not here. Nobody's here for this. Nobody's here for this talk.
I think it's honestly everybody here has like a shitty view of it. Everybody hated McCarthy by the time he left, but I don't know. He's proven that like he's not an inept douchebag.
I actually didn't mean for this to turn into a discussion. It was meant to be like a 20-second bit.
I mean, you
know what? You know what? This brings up a good point. I hate that the Cowboys are even a goddamn conversation. They're the only 8-8 team year in and year out that get national coverage for being mediocre as fuck.
But they should be good, though.
They should be good.
Their
they have
team,
tons of talent.
When you watch them, they look good at times.
But you know what? I'm tired of the Cowboys. You know what? I think we should have like a...
It's funny you brought them up. I mean, you're playing into the problem.
I did. I did bring them up. You know what? Fuck me. Let's start the show. I'm home with the movies.
And I'm Jackson.
And this is Bored and Annoyed. Bored and Annoyed.
And this is our first awards show.
Yeah, Golden Globes.
The Golden Globes were last night.
The show that no one pays attention to.
But yeah, before we hop into that, let's get the other little pieces of news out of the way, since I know whoever won the Golden Globes, that's big news.
Yeah, the totally huge news, best news. Let's see. One of the first things that we could talk about, Star Wars is failing. It's the failing Star Wars franchise.
Yeah, I mean it. Well, so is it going to crack $1 billion or not?
It will crack $1 billion. Okay. It's at like what 918,
928. I read a rumor that it was kind of neck and neck with Rogue One.
Yeah, I think it's going to finish right around 1.1. Is
and
probably
what did
realistic.
Rogue One do?
I think Rogue One did about 1.1.
Okay. That's pathetic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, and people, I saw somebody make an argument saying like, oh, well, if you really want to get down to it, you know, the series hasn't been in decline. It's been all over the place because you had Rogue One, which did, you know,
way better than it was supposed to. Right. But that was when people were still excited because that was the second one.
But I also don't think that that's fair because I think that the main series is thought of in a different light than the side movies.
Yeah, no, you're right. Totally. So Rogue One probably did better than expected, first off, because it's a side movie and people didn't expect it to do much.
And
people were still happy about Force Awakens for the most part.
And it was the second modern Star Wars movie.
And they had Darth Vader in the trailer.
I think that was part of it. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, 100%.
I personally, not my cup of tea, but I know people like it.
I don't really like it.
But yeah, to me, I mean, it's like the main franchise, the episodic franchise, has been going down.
That's supposed to be the tentpole thing.
That's the flagship ship. So yeah, that's a thing that's happening.
Yep.
Let's see what else is happening. Okay, rumor has it that the Hulk and Namor may have quietly come over to Disney from Universal. Namor is Marvel's Aquaman.
Okay.
Yeah. More interesting character in my opinion. But that's because I'm a Marvel shill. So
you are. That is fucking true.
But you've
got to be disgusted about the possibility of Christian Bale coming with his DC nonsense to come.
This is one of the greatest. Yeah. Okay. Well, we went from literally one story to the next story without any real discussion, but that's fine. Yeah, we could talk about. Actually, talk about Christian Bale.
I really want a Hulk movie, though.
I really want a Hulk movie.
Yeah.
I really want a Hulk movie because I think Mark Ruffalo can do great things with the character. He's just, the problem is he's been sidelined.
Well,
basically.
It would be interesting to see if they did a standalone Hulk movie. Is it the same kind of jokey take on Hulk that they've done as almost the comic relief character in the Avengers movies? Or do they do a story where they can dive a little bit more into the stuff that I like, which is the
Jekyll and Hyde nature.
Right. But now, Is he Dr. Hulk or whatever?
So I think he is. I think this is maybe the most interesting time to have a solo Hulk movie, though, because everybody understands Hulk in the Jekyll and Hyde manner. We've never culturally gotten to this point with the Hulk. So what do you do?
I mean, hopefully not annoy me.
Right. No, my thought was, and we were going to do a pitch episode on this, but my thought is like, okay, so they kind of dealt with the idea of like they merged the personalities of the two. Okay. But really my thought is like, it's a slight retcon, but all you have to do is pretend like, no, actually he just took the body of the Hulk, but he still buried the personality of the Hulk. So you could basically say it's just been Bruce Banner in Hulk's body.
Okay, but the Hulk's still in there.
Hulk's still in there.
So then the conflict is the Hulk gets out.
The Hulk comes out. Okay. Maybe you could do the whole, like, they did do a splitting of the Hulk in the comics where, like, the Hulk had a body, Bruce Banner had a body. Maybe that's when you can introduce Grey Hulk, or you can introduce World Breaker Hulk, which is the one who comes to Earth after being banished and smashes the fuck out of everyone. Like, he just owns everyone.
See, this is just upsetting me because I wanted more like time with infant Hulk, like in its infancy. The idea that, you know, at the end of the Hulk movie with Edward Norton, he just like figured out, okay, right, like I can control my breathing. That scene, it was like, oh, that was a nice setup. Yep. And it's not that they didn't do anything with that, because clearly in the first Avengers movie, they had the whole payoff with that.
Yeah.
But I wanted to see that.
I agree with that. I mean, really, at the end of the day, we can blame it on if the Incredible Hulk had been a better hit,
I suppose,
or if Edward Norton hadn't
been a douche.
Yeah, if he had played ball more, we might have gotten more Hulk movies. But the problem is that it barely broke even, and it was a shared profit with Universal. They just weren't going to keep going with it.
Makes sense.
It sucks, but
it barely broke even, huh?
I mean, yeah, it broke even, but it barely broke even. So it's the lowest grossing by a wide margin.
Maybe they shouldn't have done a Hulk movie until they did Avengers first.
I disagree, because part of the fun of the Avengers is watching your favorite superheroes team up.
Yeah, but everybody knows who the Hulk is. It's not like, you know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't ruin his character in Avengers if you haven't seen the Incredible Hulk. It doesn't really matter.
That's
right?
true.
You know what I mean?
He's probably the one character that didn't need an introduction.
Well, it felt like they did that a little bit on purpose because it wasn't the same actor.
Yeah.
You know, so they didn't like play too much into, aside from like General Ross popping up in a couple of the movies. And
they did actually do a really good job of like a soft reintroduction to the character with the whole like healing people, doing doctor work, you know.
I just can't wait till they bring Liv Tyler back. I'm really excited for that.
I could see them doing it. I really could. But let's talk about Christian Bale possibly joining Thor 4.
Yeah, I'm going to say he does do it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna lay the fake news out there for the show. I'm gonna say Christian Bale's gonna be in Thor 4, and I don't know what kind of character he's gonna play, but after how funny he was and charming he was in Ford versus Ferrari, I'm excited to see what Taika has in store for using Christian Bale.
Christian Bale is one of the greatest actors of our generation. Well, not our generation; they're older than us, but you know, of his generation.
Of our generation.
Yes.
You'll be saying that about like a 30-year-old actor when you're 70.
Right, that's
true. Of our generation.
Of this generation, whatever. He's
great.
He's one of the best. He's one of the best. And it's a huge get if they can get him. I really don't. I'm surprised by this.
I'm not.
Because I never thought I would see him in another comic book movie. He seems to take himself pretty seriously with his films. Not that Taika Waititi doesn't do, you know, like well-made movies, but they're a different tone than what I would expect Christian Bale to be in.
Right. But there's a lot of people like that in Taika's movies, I would say.
That's true. Well, Taika does really great stuff.
He can just fucking kill it with anyone.
That's true.
I just think he's good.
If this happens, this movie instantly becomes the most like
your most anticipated.
Hyped. Like, I mean, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
Is that 2021 or no? Or 2020? Because that's the one I'm pumped for, because it sounds like
2021.
It sounds like they're going to do something really strange. Ooh, strange with it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm pumped for like Eternals. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. I think Shang-Chi is going to be fun.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they're all going to be fun movies, but all of a sudden Christian Bale added, that's fucking amazing. I hope he's playing Wishlist here. I hope he's playing Gore the God Butcher.
All right.
Gore is a guy who basically...
The God Butcher sounds fun. Is he bad or good?
He's a bad guy.
Okay.
The God Butcher... Dude, this Jason Aaron's run on the Thor series has been fucking phenomenal. Like, it's flat out amazing. But Gore the God Butcher, think guy's family gets killed, has prayed to the gods his whole life, gets pissed off at the gods. 2 gods end up landing, on his basically forsaken planet after a huge battle. He takes one of their weapons, kills them, and he sort of starts going around the universe killing all the gods.
Sounds like a good character.
All the pantheons of gods. Like, he kills the fucking Olympians. He kills so many fucking gods.
Now, does he, this is some good backstory, but when they make the movie, is he just going to kill like infant version of the gods that are just children that will, hope that he's coming there to save them, and he just slaughters children?
Or are we doing an Anakin
full-grown
thing?
Like badass gods that he fights?
Because
you're giving me some good lore here for me to imagine. But
remember Star Wars? You remember when Star Wars was a thing that we all loved? Order 66 sure sounds badass until you find out he just stabbed a bunch of kids.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean,
I don't know if that was part of Order 66.
It's true. Like, I pictured, God damn it, we can't get off this, but I really pictured like Vader, like in the last movie, was going to be like on a 5-year long journey, like finding the Jedi and slaughtering them.
I want to see that movie. That sounds fucking amazing. Imagine like the character bits that you can have with like old friends that he's come to kill.
Vader and Baby Yoda.
Oh, God fucking hell.
Maybe Baby Yoda was with Vader before he, the timeline matches up.
Maybe it's Yoda's baby.
Yeah, we don't know.
Fucking hell.
We don't know.
Don't do it, Star Wars. Do not do it, Star Wars.
Baby Yoda, man. He's got to be something.
It can't all be connected.
It's got to be something.
It could be. There could be some fuck off Yoda wannabe off like 20 galaxies away. I don't fucking care. Just don't fucking make him Yoda's baby.
He's got to be related to Yoda, right?
No.
Or a clone of Yoda or something.
You remember when everybody was like, hey, I wonder if like John Boyega is related to like Billy D. Williams because they're both black. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
That's quite this. There's 2 Yodas, 3.
Yeah,
Yaddle.
Yeah, and there were like 3 black dudes in all of Star Wars.
Touche.
So,
touche. I suppose that's true. But no, he's got to be related. There has to be a reason why the First Order or the Empire or whoever wants that specific Baby Yoda.
Because they got special force powers.
All of those things
I don't fucking know.
So why don't they just go to the Yoda planet and get another Yoda?
They got the Metachlorians.
So there's got to be more Yodas, right? Why do they need this one? Why would they go fuck with this badass Mandalorian guy?
Maybe he's the last one.
Well, if that's the case, then they fucked up the setup for season 2, because the whole thing is you got to go find the Baby Yoda race.
Maybe that's the reveal.
Okay. All right.
They're all dead, and you got to keep him. He's yours.
All right. Well, continue.
Anyways, Christian Bale should be amazing. Should be amazing.
Yes, I would agree.
Really hope it happens.
I mean, I hope he's as good as Ben Kingsley was in Iron Man 3.
Jesus Christ. I think he's going to be just as good as Cate Blanchett was as Hela. And I thought she was pretty fucking great. So, but yeah, let's go into the Golden Globes. Yeah. First topic, Ricky Gervais.
Good old Ricky.
Not the hero that we asked for, but the hero that we need.
He was great. He really was.
Yep.
Yeah, he had a few jokes that, like, you could tell everyone was uncomfortable in there.
It cut to the quick.
And it's brilliant because he knows that everyone watching this thinks it's fucking hilarious.
Yes.
While watching, because you're watching this and you kind of like hate all these people, even though you like them in their movies or whatever. There's a bit of you that just is bothered by, them getting up and giving each other awards. And
I think we as a society are maybe a little tired of maybe sort of like the elite status that we have given these people. And it's not just them. It's like politicians too. You know, it's just people in power who are like, hey, let's pat each other on the back all the time. You know, that kind of shit.
Yep. So he came out, he had like an Epstein joke. He had a joke about Apple running sweatshops while having content about, you know,
being woke.
Yeah, right.
And I'm like, that was the one where I was like, you know what? You fucking got all these motherfuckers. You want to act like you're all social justice warrior, and that's fine. And there are good points to be made there, but don't fucking do it on a dime made from a fucking sweatshop.
Yeah, that's true.
Don't fucking do that. I mean,
it's a good point. I don't know. It was very, very funny. His Epstein thing, the Weinstein joke where he's like, he made a comment about Bird Box, like, just like everybody in Hollywood with Harvey Weinstein, they all like groaned, and he was like, I didn't fucking do it. You did it. Like, you knew.
he did really great, and the whole like just thank your God and your agent and fuck off, and I love just the fuck off bit. I was like, and then he just quietly takes a little sip from his drink.
Well, what's funny is how many people like turned that on, because he threw a plug in for his show on Netflix too. I wonder how many people went and watched that. It had to have done him good to do that show, because he's actually fucking funny. And it seems to me that most of the non-media reaction has been positive. Like, people thought it was funny. You know, but
there were a lot of I didn't think it really wasn't anywhere near as political as these things tend to be.
There were 2 or 3 people that did say stuff that, you know, I mean, it was funny because they just didn't. They just ignored him completely.
Yeah. I thought there were a couple of good ones, like Russell Crowe's. He wasn't even there.
Yeah,
but,
sure.
But his bit about like, hey, we got to do something about climate change. This is fucking happening. Look what's happening in Australia, which, by the way, it's awful what's going on there.
Yeah.
It's just awful. And I thought that was powerful.
I can understand that because he's from there. So he has like a personal stake in it.
I mean, but it kind of like, it's a warning sign to all of us, you know?
I mean, you know, if it's factually scientifically proven that it's climate change that caused it.
Right.
You know, I mean, that's all I'm saying. But I get it either way. Like, to me, it's like, okay, well, if people don't pollute, that's better.
Yeah.
So I really don't care about that.
Yeah.
As long as they don't tell me to, like, you know, hey, make sure you throw your next Coca-Cola can in the recycling because I need to take this jet to go do my next movie.
That was
you know what I mean?
When Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, he said that.
When
they
he
cut
did
him
that,
off, but
he made I think Ricky made the point of the night.
Yes.
But I think that he made the second best point, which is like, we can all do the whole like well wishes all we want, but we need, as us, Hollywood, we need to do better. Yeah. We don't need to take private jets. We don't need to do all the things that we're doing.
Can we talk about how weird he is, though?
I love him.
Oh, God. Like, he got weird up there and I felt awkward not even being there watching him do his speech.
Right. But that's kind of why I like him. That's why I like it. Because, like,
he's so fucking weird.
He's so unrehearsed in real life.
Yeah, I wonder, because I remember back in the day, he still, like, seemed sort of normal. But,
yeah, he's probably getting a little kookier as he gets older.
But
not that that's a bad thing.
Yeah, I know. I mean, he makes good movies. He's fucking great.
Yeah.
Whatever he does, how he can channel whatever role he's in, you know.
He looks like somebody who might have a little bit of trouble staying in the moment. I don't know. He seems very like antsy and kind of flighty with his thoughts.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, he seems like the Joker a little bit.
That was great, though. I loved his speech. I thought he was fantastic.
I thought he needed to go straight to a mental institution.
I loved it.
I do like the fact that he said, like, okay, you know, I'm not one who gives a fuck if anybody takes private jets, but if this culture, if they're going to, you know, harp on something, then they should stand behind what they think.
That's exactly.
So I back that up for sure.
For sure. Well, it's kind of like, just don't be a fucking hypocrite, you know?
Right. Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, do you want to do the actual awards? Just go.
Yeah.
I realized.
One thing I realized is that I hadn't seen 90% of the TV shows.
Yeah,
I didn't know what the fuck
apparently
any of that
I don't
shit
watch
was.
TV.
Yeah.
is what I've realized. But also what I realized is all of these nominations can fuck right off because Dark wasn't in any of them.
You know, that's a good point.
They can fuck right the hell off.
That's a great point.
That's why I don't, no.
Do any of these critics watch Dark?
Drama TV series? You kidding me? It's not in there. Big Little Lies is in there. Fucking CW wannabe on the HBO.
That's funny. Like, are foreign shows not? Is there a foreign show that was nominated? That would be the next question, right? Because
I feel like in previous years, though, Downton Abbey has been nominated.
Yeah, but that's English, though. That's British.
It's so... okay. So Britain and America.
I'm just saying.
That's horse shit.
I'm just telling you, man.
So, yeah, that's what I realized. So we can skip, as far as I'm concerned, we can skip, like, all the TV shit.
Yeah, there might have been... Chernobyl won some stuff. What's his name from the Avengers? That actor who's in it?
Yeah. Skarsgård.
Skarsgård won, and he's great. So I was happy about that. But yeah, like, just naming some of these. Okay, I haven't watched Barry. I hear that's great. But like the Kaminsky Method, Succession, I hear that's good. Fleabag, I don't think I had ever heard of that show.
Me either.
Barry. But yeah, so basically I'm not the person to come to about this. Russian Doll, I wanted Natasha Lyonne to win, but that's just because that's the only thing I've fucking seen in that category.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean? So that was kind of interesting. She was actually
really good in Russian Doll.
I love that show.
That was actually, not a big fan of the ending, but other than that,
yeah,
fucking great show.
But yeah, Chernobyl won some shit, so I was happy about that. But the movies. This is a movie podcast, first and foremost.
Yeah.
So, what do you want to start with here? You want to talk about the
supporting actor in a motion picture?
Supporting actor in a motion picture, drama or comedy / musical?
Comedy.
That's what we need to talk about too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
What does that mean?
Well, I mean, that's what I love is, Once Upon a Time is not a comedy. I mean, it has comedic elements.
Right.
But it's not a comedy.
It's not a musical.
It's not a musical.
No.
But they wanted it to win some awards, so they kind of fudged the numbers a little bit, I think that's what it is I think they have some clear front runners, or maybe they even have two.
And they can kind of decide.
Yeah. I think that's 100% what it is.
Because, yeah, you could easily say Once Upon a Time was a drama.
Yeah.
I mean, I would call it a drama.
Yeah. It's more drama than comedy as far as I'm concerned.
But yeah, so that one you had Taron Egerton, which, did you ever see Rocket Man or no?
I didn't.
So Rocket Man, it was so good to see him win because it was everything that the Queen movie was not. Mm-hmm. And it actually is a musical. So that's neat.
I'm a little surprised that Daniel Craig got nominated for lead actor.
Everybody really liked him.
I mean, yeah, he's
great. Supporting.
But is there a lead actor in that movie?
It's a total ensemble movie.
It's the most ensemble movie probably of the year. Probably.
That's true.
I mean, other than like Avengers Endgame.
It's him and Ana de Armas are like the two mains, right? So you could say she would be a Best Actress nominee, which I think she was, by the way.
I think she would qualify more as like a lead actor in that.
She was nominated for that.
I loved seeing Roman Griffin Davis be nominated for JoJo.
Yeah, I didn't expect that. I wanted him to win just because he's a kid, but I knew he wasn't going to win because they never give it to kids.
And I loved seeing, I recently watched Dolemite. Oh,
God, dude.
And I loved seeing Eddie get nominated. So great. He's really good in that.
He's amazing.
He's actually got some nice dramatic moments in it, too.
The end of that movie is like the final scene is... But like the whole end when, spoilers, he goes to the premiere.
Sure.
It's just so like heartwarming that he made it.
Yeah.
And he was right. And everything's validated that he did throughout the movie.
Yeah.
It really is a great movie.
Yeah.
It really is. And he is great.
I think if I were of the movies that I saw, though, which I saw every one except for Rocket Man.
Oh, wow. I saw every movie in this category.
Yeah. I would have given it probably to Leo.
Leo, okay.
I think Leo had the best performance. I think Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is his best performance, period.
Okay.
That's just me, though.
I wasn't upset that it went to Taron Egerton. I would have given it to Eddie Murphy, but honestly, I just loved that movie so much that I might be biased, I guess.
I mean,
but there's nothing wrong with his performance whatsoever. Everyone in this whole thing, I guess Daniel Craig, but I really like Daniel Craig too, but he played such a cheesy character that it wasn't like it didn't look that difficult what he was doing.
Right. I would say everybody else had a heavier burden to bear in their movies, their roles.
But yes, I loved Rocket Man. I thought it was great.
Do you want to do actress in a musical or comedy?
Yeah, in this one, I just watched The Farewell, so we'll be talking about that in a few minutes during shit we watched. But this was a runaway to me out of all the ones I saw. So I didn't see Late Night or Where'd You Go, Bernadette.
Yeah.
But out of the three other ones that were nominated, The Girl in Booksmart and Knives Out, and I really thought she was great too, that Ana de Armas.
Yeah.
But Awkwafina, that movie is really fucking good. And she is great. I
almost had time to watch that before I came over today, which would have informed my opinion on that one. But yeah, I'm glad. Do you know she's the first Asian actress to win that award?
Yes, that's what they said.
That's great.
Yeah.
Good for her.
And she's just likable.
I really
Even
like
her
the
name's
fuck out of her.
Awkwafina. I don't get it.
I don't get it either, but I really fucking like her.
She was fucking the runaway star of
Rich Asians.
Yes, Crazy Rich Asians.
And she's going to be in Shang-Chi. So I'm actually really pumped for that. Really good for her. Let's see. What else is there, though?
So we got actors now, right?
Did we do? Oh, that was, main actor. Yeah.
So we've got actress in a drama motion picture, Renee Zellweger. I didn't see that movie.
I didn't see it.
I can't look at her, though. I'm sorry. I'm an asshole, but I can't. I don't think I could, unless they do use CGI. It's not because it's one of those things where what she looked like before makes me so distracted to watch her give that. Right. Yes, I'm distracted. I can't help it. She was like the cute Jerry Maguire girl.
Right.
Me, Myself, and Irene. I'm sitting here thinking, and I'm like, what the fuck were you thinking? I don't get it. But
well, I'm just going to talk substance, and I'm going to say I didn't see literally any of these movies. I feel bad.
Marriage Story.
I saw Marriage Story. I feel bad, though, because I wanted to see Bombshell and I wanted to see Little Women, both on my list. But
you just hate the women.
No,
I mean, clearly, look at this.
I think those are
you saw
solid ass looking movies.
You saw one of these women's movies,
and I'm really the women's movies. They're
it's their movie. It's not they're for women, but the movies the women were in. The great female performances.
Okay. But I watched Marriage Story, and much like when I saw Joaquin in Joker this year, I struggled with the idea that I could see a better performance from a woman this year than her. So for me, I'm like, I guess I need to see Judy now because apparently she's fucking great. But I find it hard to believe.
I think Florence Pugh should be up here over at least Saoirse Ronan for Midsummer.
Yeah, she was
That's
great.
My opinion.
And she was
But
great
that's a horror
in
movie, and it was directed by what's his fuck. So we're just gonna fuck next year. What female led movie?
I don't agree with that because I think he gets a lot of respect, even though horror.
That's true.
Even though horror
not from
itself,
these fucks though.
But even though horror may not get respect overall, I think he's respected as a director. My thing is I'm starting to think, and it bleeds a little bit into Rocket Man, which is you played a real person. Oh, credit.
No, that's totally true. Except if you're Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, right. Because he just played himself. I mean, do you want to go to lead actor in a
Well, I do want to touch real quick
picture
on Saoirse Ronan in Little Women because she's fucking great. She was great in Lady Bird a few years ago.
Sure.
So out of the 5 that are up there, I would have given it to her.
We also had Laura Dern getting a supporting actress in a musical or comedy.
And I would have given that to...
I'm guessing Kathy Bates.
Is that a musical or comedy?
I'm sorry,
category?
no, drama. That was drama. Yeah, no. Whew. Sorry, I misspoke.
I would have been like, well, you're right. They just split the names randomly. Yes, I would have given it to Kathy Bates.
Yeah, I sort of assumed that based on what you were saying
really,
about it.
really, really like Kathy Bates, though, too.
Right.
I mean, she's just fucking been solid forever
and ever and ever.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait to see Bombshell because I love Margot Robbie, so I'm really interested to see what she does there. But yeah, Laura Dern kind of makes sense. She was good. Her. She was really good.
She could have been up there for Little Women, too.
Oh, okay.
Like, honestly, she's good in that, too.
Sure.
She plays like the mom of the sisters.
Sure.
And she's great. She's just always great, except for when she's Holdo and she runs the spaceship into all the...
One of the dumbest, fucking, stupidest fucking things ever.
But yeah, so we did actress. We haven't done support, or we haven't done main actress drama, right? By the way, the thing we're looking at this on, it's like all out of order.
Yep.
So that's why we sound like fucking lunatics. My favorite speech of the night, by the way, I just want to touch on it. We don't have to talk about the category since we didn't watch any of these shows.
Sure.
Was Olivia Colman again.
Oh, she's fucking the most down-to-earth person.
Yeah.
You saw her, what was it? It was her Oscar speech last year.
The one where she's the queen.
Yeah.
The weird one with Emma Stone and Rachel Weisz.
Yes.
I can name all the people in the fucking movie. I can't name
The Favorite.
The Favorite. And her speech was great. It made me happy she won.
She almost brought tears to my eyes with how genuine she was.
Yeah,
I could
she's
not
just
believe
happy to be there.
She couldn't even believe it.
Yep.
She couldn't believe it was at this time. She could believe it a little bit more. She's like, all right, I kind of get it now.
Yeah, well, this is just the Golden Globe.
Yeah. But no, my favorite speech of the night, I mean, I loved her speech, but my favorite speech of the night was Kate McKinnon's speech.
Before Ellen.
She did something so impressive.
You're kind of cheating though, because that wasn't like a win. That was like my favorite speech of the night was Ricky Gervais opening
Well,
show.
I mean, that's, I would call that a monologue.
Okay.
But that was an introductory speech, I guess is what you would.
But no, she was good, and the Ellen bit was great.
She was great.
Yes.
Yeah, Ellen was great. Tom Hanks was really great.
He was.
You watch that and, you kind of bring up your point about like you kind of secretly hate these people. And it's like, I could never hate Tom.
I can't hate Tom Hanks. I know.
Can't hate Ellen. I can't hate Kate.
No, that's true.
Kate McKinnon, talking about, that award.
Well, because they're smart too enough to like know that not to piss people off. Like Tom Hanks has never like come. I mean, he's said things here and there.
He's got his opinions, but he's not overt about it. He's not shove it in your face, and he's not a dick about it. He's like, he tends to be like, this is what I think, and then he just kind of quietly moves on. It
doesn't seem like if you disagreed with him, he would think you were like an asshole who should burn in hell.
Right.
That's how some of these people come off. Like they almost believe like the little people in the middle of the country are all fucking just completely ridiculous assholes. That's what they think. That's how it comes off. But not Tom Hanks.
Definitely not Tom.
He doesn't seem that way.
He's America's uncle. Could do no wrong.
And by the way, his bit before he did his speech when they were showing all of his movies, I'm just sitting there like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no, yeah. You're watching, you're like, how did this career even
He's in
happen?
like every movie they were showing was like, oh yeah,
how great was that? yeah. But talking about Kate McKinnon, I mean, we're talking about the Carol Burnett Award. Talk about somebody who's going to be getting that in like 15 years.
Probably.
I think it's almost a foregone conclusion.
I don't think she's ever going to be like...
She may never be an Ellen.
No, she's never going to be huge. I don't think.
But I think as far as like
although
comedians...
if she gets a few more Ghostbusters under her belt, she might be able to get up there.
That movie is not her fucking fault.
Oh, she did also play in that hit with Mila Kunis last year where they're like spies.
Yeah, my ex-boyfriend's a spy or something. Yeah. But she's also one of the funniest female comedians.
She is very funny.
She's super fucking funny.
I do like her.
But do you want to do a screenplay for a motion picture? Or do you want to finish out actors with Joaquin Phoenix? I mean, do we have thoughts on Joaquin Phoenix winning?
Yeah, he shouldn't have won. He didn't deserve it at all. He stinks.
Yeah, it wasn't clearly the best goddamn performance of the year from an actor. Though I will say the other performance that stuck out to me the most was Christian Bale.
Yeah, I loved Christian Bale. I would agree.
Those were the two that were standout performances this year.
I have not seen Hopkins in The Two Popes. I would imagine that he's probably fucking fantastic in whatever he's doing.
Right.
But yeah, I can't. I mean, the Joker was, to me, I was like, he has to win. Right.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, it's one of those performances that you kind of feel like you're watching a piece of history while it's happening. So, I mean, for me, that was I mean, I don't even know why I brought it up.
Yeah.
It's a non-discussion.
I thought, Tom Holland was pretty good in Spider-Man.
Yep. There you go.
So the only other one I can think of that we haven't touched on is supporting actor in a drama.
Yeah, sure. Who was that?
Brad Pitt won for Once Upon a Time.
I thought we already talked about Brad Pitt winning.
In Hollywood. I thought we talked about Leonardo DiCaprio not winning as your choice. I could be wrong.
No, you're right.
I think I'm always right.
Well,
that's the problem.
I know that's what you think.
I would have gone with Joe Pesci, but I can't be mad about Brad Pitt.
I would not have, but I didn't really think that anybody in The Irishman did anything other than really kind of.
I thought Joe Pesci was fucking amazing.
I guess Brad Pitt kind of just played himself also. They even admitted that.
Yeah, but he was fucking great.
He was.
He was great. Well, I wasn't upset that he won.
My statement was going to be that I didn't think that anybody in The Irishman did really much of anything other than play themselves.
See, I've never seen Joe Pesci play the character he was in that, though. Never.
He was a little bit more reserved, but he still
little bit.
Okay, yeah, he was a lot more reserved.
He
still felt like Joe Pesci to me.
He's
still a mobster, dude.
I've never seen Joe Pesci play the reserved mobster who's like the man and can keep his shit together.
That seemed more like I'm old.
He felt intimidating. Yeah, but he wasn't old the whole movie. That's what's. I mean, I get it. I get what you're saying.
He really was old the whole time.
But Robert De Niro was out there busting skulls.
What? You need some help with this kid? Need some help? You're calling a 45-year-old?
Joe Pesci played. Excuse me. Joe Pesci played like a reserved gangster, where in the other two gangster movies that Scorsese's put him in.
Right.
He was the loony, wacky, fucking flies off the handle guy.
Right. Yeah,
I definitely think he was and I thought that De Niro was good in that too.
I'm not saying they were bad.
But I thought Pesci was the best part of that movie.
He probably was my favorite character, but I wasn't blown away with the performance by any means.
Now, I was expecting you to want some more love for Tom Hanks here. As Mr. Rogers.
I really liked him as Mr. Rogers, but I mean, you're not entirely wrong in that it's hard to look past Tom Hanks to see Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, it's so true.
But I think
he was good.
But how it works to his favor is that he is as close to Mr. Rogers as we have left.
He's just a wholesome, pure man.
Yes, exactly. So, I don't. I wouldn't have picked him. I would have picked Brad Pitt.
You would have picked Brad Pitt. If Brad Pitt didn't narrate that whole fucking Ad Astra movie, he was great in that too.
He was really good in that.
But if they would have taken out the fucking narration, because he was doing scenes like just looking at his face, like the torment in his face and the fucking, very subtle acting that he was doing in that movie.
Yes. What a year for movies.
Yeah, it was great.
What a
great
year for movies.
It really was. And people just say that there's nothing but the new Star Wars. And
well, I mean, they haven't even, and here's my little 2 cents. There's no love for a movie like Alita here. There's no love for a movie like Avengers Endgame here. There's no love for anything.
Midsummer, The Lighthouse. There's none of it. Yeah, I don't think there was all that shit that could have been.
There was nearly enough love for JoJo. I really don't.
You're not wrong. Yeah, you could give Taika
I think he could have used a director nod at least.
Well, okay, so there was a cinematography award given out last night, I believe. And to me, the fact that The Lighthouse isn't nominated for cinematography is batshit crazy to me.
There was a cinematography?
I believe there was. I could be wrong. or maybe there was something where I was like, how the fuck is that? Or Score was what I was thinking.
Oh, okay.
I can't believe it was not nominated for Score.
What wasn't?
JoJo? The Lighthouse.
Oh, The Lighthouse. Right.
Yeah, no, but Joker won Score. I don't agree with that.
I thought the score was good. Like it was
I don't remember it.
It was a very effective score. I remember it at certain moments.
Okay.
The moment when he comes, it's like one of the moments when he comes back to his apartment at night, and I think it's after he's killed his mom.
Okay.
That it's there and it's powerful. No, the movie that was the clear, and I don't know if it's a 2019 movie.
It is. It's brand new.
Togo.
It's Disney Plus original.
Togo.
That's your clear winner.
That's my clear fucking winner for Score.
I would say The Lighthouse is mine.
It's
but don't give it away. We have our best of list.
Togo's score is fucking great.
Dude, Togo, this might sound like blasphemy. I love Togo. When I watched it, I was like, God damn it, I keep fucking up my top 10 list because I don't know if that can make it in, but it was fucking great. I loved Togo.
I loved it. It would be in my top 20. I don't know if it would be in my top 10.
So good.
But we saw a lot
of great movies,
of good movies this year. Yeah, top 10 is going to be really rough this year. It's going to be really rough. Yeah. Okay. Director of a motion picture that went to Sam Mendes for 1917.
We haven't seen that yet, so we can't comment.
So we can't really comment.
Director of screenplay went to Once Upon a Time, right?
Screenplay went to Once Upon a Time.
Quentin won.
Super happy for that. I do think nobody writes movies like Quentin. Nobody gets even close to writing movies like Quentin.
True. Now that
you can make an argument.
That doesn't mean you're the best.
No.
That doesn't mean it's the best screenplay.
I tend to find that because he makes people verge into almost a character, not a character or caricature sort of lane. He allows characters to be so kind of zany that his characters stand out a lot more than a lot of other characters that came out that year.
Right. And
I think that's sort of his strength.
Yeah, I everything that Parasite was nominated for, I wanted it to win. And for screenplay, the reason would be because the fact that he put that to a page, I feel like anyone who read that would have said, well, this is fucking wacky. This isn't going to work.
I think
because
Parasite,
the tonal shifts in the movie are so well done.
Yeah.
And perfectly, spaced out. I would give it to Parasite.
To me, and Marriage Story is actually very impressive because apparently all of the pauses and the ums and the people talking over each other are actually in the script.
Oh, I suppose. Yeah.
Like apparently
that makes sense because you got to have them because it's like conversations. It's like real. Well, that's noticeable too. It really makes it feel real.
It felt very real. I felt the conversations were very real. So I think if I didn't give it to Once Upon a Time, I probably would have given it to Marriage Story personally. But Parasite is fucking nuts too. I think Parasite's going to go down as I think it's going to be a modern cult classic.
Yes. I think it has an outside shot at Best Picture at the Oscars.
I really hope it's nominated.
I think it will be. It has to be.
I hope so.
Here they've got a foreign film. For some reason they don't want to put it in.
Right.
Because I'm sorry, but if it's in the screenplay category,
right?
Did he win for director? He won for director, right? What did he win for?
No, I thought he won.
Or he won Best Foreign Film. So he won Best Foreign Film, but he was in there in every category. I believe that you can conceive that he would be.
Yeah.
Of course, none of the actors were.
Yeah.
But that goes back to why isn't Dark nominated for anything?
Yep.
But yeah, so I would imagine the Oscars with 10 Best Picture nominees, it'll get in there. Because it doesn't fit as a musical or comedy, so it would have to be in drama. And who at the Golden Globes are you booting?
There are two movies that we riot if they're not in the fucking Best Picture category. It's Parasite and it's JoJo, because that shit can fuck. I think JoJo absolutely deserves a nomination.
To be in there. I would agree.
There are clear foregone conclusions, like Ford v Ferrari is going to be in there. That's such a Best Picture nom kind of thing.
And you know what? It's the kind that I wouldn't mind seeing win.
Right.
Because it's just, it's great.
Marriage Story will be in there.
Yeah, that's like the artsy,
Yeah.
like, you know, slow movie.
And 1917 will be in there.
War movie.
Yeah, they tick all the boxes. We've got all the boxes ticked, but JoJo doesn't necessarily tick a box, and Parasite kind of ticks the foreign box.
Yeah.
But
the foreign box is like new.
It is new.
Like,
it is new.
Like the only reason Roma's in there is because it was so masterfully crafted.
You imagine
with such fantastic cinematography and art behind it.
Anyways, so moving on from the trolling, you imagine how pissed off somebody would be who works at the Golden Globes listening to this podcast and realizing that our discussion about the Golden Globes has turned to the Oscars.
Yeah, because that's the one that matters.
Yeah, it's
right?
the one that everybody cares about. Right. Sorry, Golden Globes.
Yeah, we DC and Marvel.
We dedicated our time on this show to you, but also fuck you.
So, what won Best Picture, musical or drama, musical or whatever? It was Rocket Man, right or no?
I don't.
What won musical or comedy Best Picture?
So, drama was 1917.
Drama was 1917, which we haven't seen, so we can't make an opinion on it.
Right, and. Fuck, where is Best Picture? See, this is why this fucking app is so fucking stupid. Why you just put it? Musical or motion picture comedy. That was Once Upon a Time.
Once Upon a Time. Okay, see, no, I don't understand that.
I would have put JoJo over it personally. But Dolemite's in there, Rocket Man's, Knives Out.
But see, we're super different on Once Upon a Time. That's where I feel like our top 10 lists are going to be
wildly
drastically different. Because I would have put Rocket Man above it. I would have put JoJo above it. I would have put Dolemite above it. That's my opinion.
Personally, I wouldn't put Dolemite.
I love Dolemite.
I would put Rocket Man over it.
It's great.
And there's flat out no way that Knives Out.
No, I wouldn't put Knives Out.
I can't. I mean, I get why Knives Out is there.
I don't. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. No, what I'm saying is I get why it's there because it's political.
And it has like 8 billion people in it.
I suppose.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. Just fuck it. I think that's it for the Golden Globes, though.
Can we be done with the Golden Globes till next year?
You know what? And that's another thing, too. That show is so goddamn boring.
It is boring as fuck.
Bored me to tears. I can't believe they expect people to just sit there.
I did. I sat there the whole time. Although I was smart. I watched an episode of You. Or like I was watching some stuff so I could catch up and fast forward through shit.
There it is. Yeah, I was the dumbass that just started it live. But I got to hear Ricky Gervais call James Corden a fat pussy.
That was
great.
Fucking funny.
That was really good.
And he was in Cats.
Yeah. I fucking hate James Corden. I fucking hate him.
Really?
He's not funny. Oh, look at me. I'm British and I can sing.
Yeah, but he does that show where people like sing karaoke.
Yeah, they
to
sing
their own
karaoke
music.
in a car. Way to go. You came up with one good idea. Celebrities singing in a car.
That Metallica episode of that makes me want to kill myself.
I haven't seen
Watching them sit in a car with James Corden and like sing like Taylor Swift or whatever it is that comes on the radio. It's fucking brutal.
I'm going to check that shit out.
What happened to you?
I'm checking that shit when I get home because that sounds fucking hilarious.
Don't, because then next time you see Metallica, you'll just picture them with James Corden.
They're just aging
They're
fucking
old. Yeah,
grandpas.
But yeah, we're into shit we watched.
Whoa. Shit we watched.
I have a lot of shit. I don't know how much shit you have.
I have too much shit.
It's been a while. So I'm going to start by saying I'm far enough into a couple shows where I don't want to get into my review because, you know, if I was like one season through like The Expanse, for instance, then I would just review that season.
Sure.
But since I'm close to the finish line, it makes more sense to just wait and finish the whole show as it stands today. But I will say I've watched season 1 through 3 of The Expanse. I'm about halfway through the 4th, which is now, this is another one that has been canceled by Sci-Fi and picked up by Amazon.
Sure.
And my thought about halfway through season 1, because the first few episodes you are just kind of like lost as to what the fuck is going on. But once you know the characters and you know everything going on, it gets really good. And I thought to myself, if this gets canceled by Sci-Fi, who's watching sci-fi and what are they watching?
Sure.
I don't understand how it exists. It's being propped up clearly by basic cable packages that force people to have it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's really good, and I'll review it and give it a grade next week. The other one is I watched the first season of You.
Sure.
On Netflix. That's the other show.
Right.
And that show is just batshit fucking bizarre and so stupid, but so wonderful.
All the ladies in the office, they really love it.
Yeah.
I was kind of wondering if it was one of those like 50 Shades of Grey kind of like
it probably scratches that itch. I haven't seen that.
Sure.
But,
I mean, neither have I, but I assumed it just seemed like creepy kind of guy hitting on ladies. I don't even know like I sort of get the idea that he's a stalker from like the trailer, but you know. He's
a stalker who's fucking nuts. And he's killed some people, and he kills people. And you watch the show with him as your protagonist main character. So it's fun because it's like, you know, he's a sick bastard, but you still kind of like him. It kind of reminded me of what you said about Vice.
Right.
How like, yes, it's an anti-Cheney message, but they still had to make him the guy that you follow.
Right, because you break your movie if you have an unlikable person as the lead.
Correct. So they have basically this whole show is like his narration of his inner thoughts as he's doing these things.
Yeah.
And it just cracks you up, but he's twisted.
And all the ladies, they kind of do the whole like... He's so damaged. If I could just fix him.
Well, you know, that's where it's funny because I'm sitting here like he acts with the ladies like the dream guy. And I'm like, you know what? Like women like this show only works because this is what in my experience watching this is like what they want from their romance movies. But anyone who acts like this is kind of gonna strike out because he's so nice. And then I'm thinking to myself like, you know, if there is a guy like this, there's probably something wrong with him.
Yeah, probably.
So yeah, I kind of like that too. But yeah, I'm enjoying that. It's incredibly stupid, but I will give my grade when I'm done with that one too. There's only a few episodes left for me to watch in season 2. So.
Okay. So I have 2 series that I've watched. They're both anime. And
Jeez,
both are
you've been
finished.
on an anime kick.
I've been on an anime kick.
You made it through 2 full anime series.
Well, I thought I finished Vinland Saga before, but it didn't.
This is the Viking one.
This is the Viking one. This so now it's actually complete. It's an Amazon original series, and this should be like on everybody's must-watch anime list. It's fucking fantastic. It's one of the best I've seen ever. Period. End of discussion. It's like top 5, top 10 animes of all time. It's not even a fucking argument in my
anime pulling through.
It's super fucking good. A. Fucking A.
Okay.
Fucking A. And the other one that I watched is an older series called Kill la Kill.
Kill la Kill?
Kill la Kill.
Kill la Kill.
Yes.
Got it.
And it's about this like as they do in anime, this young girl who's going to a new school. She wears a sailor uniform, and it helps her transform and have superpowers.
Okay.
And it's like living, like it talks to her. It's kind of like the Venom symbiote almost. And the school that she goes to is basically like this giant hierarchical sort of thing where it's like it's regular school, like there are regular classes, but also there's like battle elements. And so everybody has like these suits kind of like she has where they can transform the regular clothes, but they can transform you. And you like beat the shit out of people so you can get like more points. So you can get a better suit in your school so you can rise the ranks. And it's like this weird, and like their whole city is built like a pyramid. So it's all very hierarchical.
Okay. It sounds kind of fun.
It's super fucking weird. It's one of the weirdest animes I've ever seen, but the animation style is so fluid. Like the fights are just fucking sick as fuck. Now, here's the thing. The show is super fucking sexist. Like what she wears is not okay. And she's like a 15, 16-year-old kid. Like shit is not okay. But she is such a fucking badass that I'm you actually stop thinking about her as like being overly sexualized. You're like, yeah, fucking kick that dude's ass. Like,
hey.
And
why can't she be over sexualized? She wants to be.
I mean, she's only 15 or 16. I mean, hey. Is that where we're, is that our point?
I mean,
hey is our point.
This is why I never want daughters. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, I was surprised. It's not a great anime, but the animation is sick. Some of the music is really good, and I really like the main character. So it's like a C+, B-, probably a B-.
Okay.
It was an enjoyable watch, and it's short. It's only one season long. It's like a mini series, basically.
All right.
The plot is fucking weird, though.
That's what I feel like they should all be.
Yeah, but this one's really fucking weird.
It goes over
like you're like,
top
oh, Death Note's weird. It's like, nah, Death Note's like, I could see an American coming up with Death Note, but fucking, there is no way an American is coming up with Kill la Kill. No fucking way. That's bonkers.
Very anti-American.
Well, I'm just saying.
Or pro-American. I don't know what it is.
I mean, I'm just down for stories,
Sure.
So like, I was all on board for how fucking weird it got. So I guess maybe anti-American. I don't know.
Speaking of fucked up shit.
Sure.
I watched the follow-up to the Babadook from the lady director.
Ooh.
And I'm going to really talk slow because I didn't pull her name up. So her name is Jennifer Kent.
Lady.
She is Australian. Good job. That was impressive. And the movie I watched is named The Nightingale.
Okay.
It's the hardest thing. I couldn't off the top of my head think of a harder thing to watch.
Really?
A film that's been harder to watch. Yes.
That disturbing?
It's fucked.
Okay.
It's fucked. Now, it rewards you mightily for sticking it out through the uncomfortable moments of the movie because it's really fucking good.
Okay.
She's on her way to a turkey. This was her second movie. I can't imagine her next one will be bad. But basically the premise is there's this Irish woman who is she was like a thief, and the British, instead of like throwing her in a prison, basically she can work the time off. So she's with the British Army in Australia.
Okay.
And essentially there's this captain, this army captain who's stuck on this base, and he's pissed about it. He wants his promotion, whatever. And it's one of those characters, the guy is, he's played by Sam Claflin. And it's one of those characters where it's like, I really give him props because I don't know how he could sleep with himself just playing the character.
Oh, wow.
He's a motherfucker. He's one of those, but basically, this woman, she's a prisoner there. Basically, she does, work for the army.
Sure.
And sings for them. She's like a pretty singer. Mm-hmm. And she's got a husband and a baby. And basically the main guy, the Hawkins, the evil, general dude, captain dude.
Sure.
Rapes her. This is like a ongoing problem for her.
Oh, no.
And something goes down in about probably a 5 to 7 minute long scene with the whole family in the room.
Oh, no.
The dad, the baby. And it is the worst fucking thing. Like you feel sick watching the scene. But once we get through that, basically it turns into a revenge tale where she is trying to track them. Because he's going to this town to try to get this promotion, this bigger job. And she meets up with this, Billy is the Aborigine guy's name. He's a black dude. And it's fucking fantastic. Their relationship, going to track down this guy. And it's so emotionally heavy because you had to deal with that. Right.
You know what this is? And I don't mean this in a flippant or terrible way.
Sure.
It's a Me Too movie.
It is. Yeah.
It's a and I mean that in the best way, in that there's a reason that Me Too exists.
Yes.
And it's stuff like this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but there's always been shit like this.
Right.
Right.
But I'm saying the reason that it exists is that there have been men who have abused the power that they had. Dude. And that's pretty dope. I'm on board for that.
It's hard to watch. Like if anyone who can't watch, if there's ever been a moment where you couldn't watch something, you had to turn it off.
Sure.
You're not going to make it through this. That would be my guess. Would I
Challenge
watch it
accepted.
again? Would I watch it again? Yes, but I might fast forward through shit because it was rough.
Sure.
The wife watched it with me. It was funny because she's like, "Oh, I hate this," and it's a really tense movie because you do this guy is like a main character and he's a piece of shit.
Sure.
And he doesn't like, you still have tough shit to watch after that scene.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like you're sick and you hate the movie, but you're fucking mesmerized by it because it's so good, especially the relationship between the main dude who's like the tracker who's helping her to go find these people.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a revenge movie. It reminded me of that recent movie Revenge that was like kind of a more pulpy, fun version of this sort of thing. But it was the Babadook was great too.
I really love the Babadook.
Apparently this woman just kicks ass. And I can't wait to see the next one.
Good.
Because, yeah, the Babadook, too, was, like, thematically awesome. It was great.
I love them. Like, probably one of my favorite modern horror movies, really.
It's great.
Yeah, one of mine. Let's see. I finally finished.
Oh, that's an A, by the way.
Okay.
Sorry.
I finally finished The Place Beyond the Pines.
Yes, we were texting about this last night.
This movie is a goddamn masterpiece.
See, that's so funny because and this isn't a movie where, like, it's interesting that you say that because I feel like I've talked to people who really liked it. So I'm not doubting, that I fucked this one up. Mm-hmm. But
it also might just not be for you.
It's true. Well, and last night when you brought it up, I was like, do I need to watch this again? And I'm like, let me look this up on Rotten Tomatoes because I want to know, like, did I just completely fuck this up?
What's the percentage?
79%.
Okay. So it's one of those probably you love it or it's not your cup of tea.
And that's kind of what but I want to see it again because to me, having that cast
cast is stacked as fuck.
Who plays the other kid, not Dane DeHaan again?
I don't know. I feel like I've seen him before, but he's not somebody who Dane DeHaan has actually had a career after this movie. I don't think the kid really has had much of a career. Not to say he's bad because he's great. There is not a bad performance in this movie. The thing that I love about it, like structurally, it is so strange because you think you have one main character. And then the main character switches about halfway through the movie. And then that character no longer becomes the main. It's not even halfway through. It's probably like I think it's actually almost broken up into thirds.
Yeah, that might have been part of my problem with it.
But to me, I'm watching it.
You liked it though.
Well, like my story of watching the movie was once one main character left, I was like, I don't understand how I'm supposed to do this. And I turned off the movie. I came back. I started it right where I was at.
So it was like a brand new movie.
And I was like, oh my fucking God.
Interesting.
This and when you just have that and maybe I think that is probably going to be a sticking point for a lot of people is if you can emotionally bring yourself to now follow this new person that brings you to another great person, which I actually think everybody's great. They're just all different. If you can bridge that emotional gap, you will find this to be an amazing movie. If you can't, that's going to be the sticking point.
I remember like eye rolling stuff. Like I remember like feeling like, okay, we get it, but I don't remember the movie. Does that make sense? I don't know. There's like I remember my mood and thoughts as I was watching the movie, but I don't remember what the fuck was happening in the movie.
We talked about this. You eye rolled because it was too pretentious, but also you love a ghost story.
Yeah, a ghost story is 100 times better than this.
It's also 1,000 times more pretentious.
I'm not going to fight you on that.
It's 1,000 times more pretentious.
But there's different types of. Okay, so maybe not pretentious. We get it stuff. Yeah, like maybe a little bit of that. Maybe that was it, but maybe, just maybe, because I mean, I am fallible. I wasn't in a mood to watch a movie, and I forced myself to watch a movie because it was something that I wanted to see.
Yep.
And I was uncomfortable and pissy, and I didn't like the movie.
And I've got something somewhat like that today to talk about.
Okay.
But we'll bring that up a little bit later.
But you're giving this an A+. It's a masterpiece. It gets a masterpiece grade.
I loved this. I could not... I just so
is this a possible Alex's favorite movies episode?
It's gonna require multiple viewings.
Okay,
it's gonna require that, and I'm not signing up for it readily because I think there's some very emotional. There's some tough stuff to watch in this movie. Like I feel
it's like a crooked cop story, right? There's a crooked cop in this, right?
Aspects of that in this, yeah, but it's not like that's the main thing, and that's kind of what I like about it. Is it doesn't just. It's a drama. It fits into that sort of, genre, but it doesn't really fit into a genre because it's got a crooked cop, but it's got a bank robber, but it's also got a druggie, and it's also got this, and it's got so much, and all the performances are great. I'm so blown away that they were able to weave a story so cohesive together with three main characters and have a theme and have something to say at the end of the day.
I'm going to have to watch it again. God damn it.
Like the ending alone, I was like, fucking great. And you know what? You might watch it and say, I fucking get it. But guess what? I thought it was just subtle enough where I was like, that's fucking beautiful.
Isn't it funny though how we're just in our nature, I think both of us at times hypocritical. Because there are times when I watch a movie and it bothers me, that kind of stuff.
Right.
But then there's times where it's like, yeah, the metaphors are just right in your face and I just lap it up like fucking, you know what I mean?
Just chalk it. I wouldn't chalk it up to being a hypocrite. I would just say that it's different stories hit you different ways.
Sure. Yeah.
And I think it also helps jive with where you are in the moment emotionally, but also how well the movie's nailing it. And also what the message is even.
What a perfect example of subjectivity, though, because I didn't hate this. Like, I can't come and tell you that you're an idiot. You know what I'm saying? But I wasn't blown away.
Sure.
So that's a perfect example of like, well, maybe I need to watch it again.
I'm also a sucker. This is a story essentially about fathers and sons. And I'm a sucker for father and son stories. And this is one of the best ones I've ever seen.
I mean, that's what got me about Ad Astra.
Yeah.
It
was the best aspect of the movie.
Yeah, but that didn't get you as much as it did me. So.
And it was still a good movie.
Yeah,
I still enjoyed it. But that was one of mine. What was one of yours?
Oh shit! You mean I'm supposed to be ready with my next?
I would hope you would
selection. Yeah, right.
What are we? Some kind of podcast?
I'm gonna go with Togo.
Hey, shared viewing.
I thought Togo was fantastic.
So Togo was
great.
Togo was great.
It gave me that tearing up, crying ending, the happy sad kind of deal.
It's beautiful.
It is. It looks great. It sounds great. Willem Dafoe is fucking great.
Best score
the dog
of the year.
Yeah, you were saying you love the score.
I love the score.
The dog is fucking great. They do such a good job of making you give a fuck about this dog.
Yes. And I mean, let's just do like a quick little recap of, so I watched, and you start thinking about it and you realize it halfway through the movie. This movie was like tailor-made, like this story was tailor-made to make a fucking movie.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I mean, and you just go down and you check the boxes. Old crotchety man needs to learn to love again, or not love again, but he needs to learn to accept somebody that's.
Do we know that he was really like this?
I mean,
that could be some fiction, right?
Sure. But it's got a dog, it's got loyalty, it's got a man that needs to, maybe loosen up a little bit. Love that dog. There's a storm. There's a man against the elements. There's man and his best friend. There's a bunch of sick children that he's coming to save. I mean, are you he's got like the best relationship, like that husband and wife relationship.
It was great.
Even when they're like
pissed at each other,
arguing, there's love and understanding in the
and
fucking
it's played
conversation.
perfectly by both of them.
Fucking great.
Yeah,
fucking great.
Well, even the fact, like, I Googled this story afterwards because I was like fascinated by this. Like the idea that like everyone thought, what's his name was the hero, Balto, but he's just, he
fuck
ain't
you,
shit.
Balto.
Yeah, fuck Balto.
Yeah, I liked Balto, the animated movie from back in the day.
But yeah, so I'm Googling this, and like there are things where like historically they say some of this shit is true that I completely thought was fictional.
Right.
Like they at one point try to get rid of Togo because he's like a pest, and Togo just shows up. Apparently that happened. That's what they say.
That's crazy.
They cross and this is in the trailer, they cross like a big lake to cut off space, and Togo pulls the whole team onto the shore.
Because they're on a little piece of ice that's separated just enough that they can't actually...
Claimed to be a true story. I don't know how, it probably didn't look as great and have booming music behind it like in the movie.
Right.
It probably looked a little bit more realistic and, boring. But you're like, because when you're watching it, that scene especially, you're just like, oh, well, this is like a total dramatization. But they did draw it from somewhere.
But I was watching that and I was like, this is fucking awesome.
It was great. Yeah.
I couldn't believe, because you had seen this before me and you're like, watch Togo. And I was like, and I'm like, God damn, it's a fucking Disney movie on Disney Plus about animals. Like, motherfucking Disney doing your Disney shit.
It's fucking great.
And I turn it on and I'm not in the mood for this. Not in the mood for this movie.
You probably were within about 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Though.
And I'm like, fuck you, movie. This is fucking great.
It is.
And it only gets better.
It does.
It only gets better.
Even after all the action, when it gets back to the ending is perfect, in my opinion.
Oh, I loved it.
If it wasn't for Endgame being so awesome, I might say this is my favorite Disney thing of the year. Even
above Mandalorian.
I was just going to say Disney Plus. As if I averaged the episodes of the Mandalorian into a grade,
this would be higher.
This would be a higher grade, I think.
I think I might agree with that. Individual episodes are
incredible.
Actually, God,
are they even better? Yeah,
I don't even know. I don't even know. I'm still riding the wave, like the Togo wave of like emotions.
And Defoe is just,
and then they show you the picture of the real guy at the end,
and it's amazing.
And you're like, you guys found like
the
guy to be this guy. I couldn't believe it.
It's one of those stories too that's like, it's difficult to even believe that it's real.
Right.
Because when they break it down at the end and all the sled dogs that went and the one, and he was old.
That was so amazing.
It was amazing. And all then, the friends that he visits that try to tell him like, hey, slow down.
Yeah, and the moment that kind of like you're riding such an emotional wave with the movie, and then right at the end, when it says in 2012 Time magazine named Togo the most heroic animal of all time, you just lose it a little bit because you're like, fuck yeah, he deserves it.
It's true. Like, it's true. Yeah, it was brilliant.
It was great.
It really was brilliant.
Really
now,
fucking great.
Spoilers here for a second. So go to the next timestamp if you don't want spoilers. How much did it get you when the little girl asks him if Togo's gonna die, and he walks out? And at this point, I don't know the story, so I'm figuring Togo's gonna die.
Yeah.
And he goes outside and basically says like, yep, everything you said was right. And, and I wrote him too hard. Like, and she's like, well, could anyone else have done it? And he's like, well, we'll never know.
Yeah.
But oh my God, dude.
That was such a great, like the fight. That was the fight that I was talking about. It's not really even a fight. He's just distraught, and he's not even like angry at her for saying like what she said. He knew why she said it.
He's just upset. And I was like, this is such a great character moment. Great. And when he tells her like, you go back in and
you apologize for me. Yeah. fucking great.
It was amazing. I loved it.
Him on the ice the first time when he's doing his whole speech. Hello, talk about the good dogs that I had, or whatever the fuck he says. I'm like, William, what is this? This is amazing.
It is amazing. The way he treats the dog at first when the dog's just an asshole when he's just trying to fucking...
And there were moments where I was like, I messaged you while watching it. I do a lot of like live tweeting, but only to Jackson when I'm watching something he's already seen. And but I did that a few times where I was like, okay, yep, this is pretty great. And then the moment where Willem Dafoe puts him on the sled and that montage, that's when the music comes in. And there was already been good music up to that point, but that's like some of the most heroic, triumphant shit in the whole movie. And I was like, this is so fucking great.
They nail all that shit of making your emotions go up and down in the movie.
I should have fucking looked it up.
Whoever did the score.
Whoever did the score deserves all the fucking accolades in the world. Fucking amazing. You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of not Spirited Away. Princess Mononoke.
Okay, I've never seen it. I've heard it's great.
There's a lot of Princess Mononoke in there. And then there's another movie that it had a little bit of the sounds of it, and I was just floored. I was absolutely floored by the score.
And it looks great.
It's beautiful.
Yes.
It's a beautiful movie.
Yes, I thought it was quite amazing. Music, by the way, was by Mark Isham. So give him his props. Yeah. Directed by Erickson Core.
Erickson Core. Is that like a bunch of people?
No.
It's a guy.
His last name's Core. He is best known for directing the 2006 sports film Invincible and the 2015 remake of Point Break.
Oh, man. Dude really upped his game then, because, I mean, dude, I don't want to... you know what? I barely remember Invincible, and I never saw Point Break.
Oh, God, remake, I won't see Point Break. I just refuse.
But, I mean... holy shit, he did an amazing job.
He was the cinematographer for Daredevil, the Ben Affleck Daredevil.
I'm sorry.
So he's outdone himself with this.
Good for him. Good for him.
Yeah. So let's see here. How many more do you have left here? I've got
one more.
I've got Uncut Gems.
Sure.
Which I know people are either loving or hating this. This is one of those weird ones where I'm like... I'm somewhere in between. Okay. I didn't think it was the greatest thing ever.
Sure.
I didn't hate it. Adam Sandler is great in it. He plays a super hateable character.
Sure.
Unlike the character I was talking about in You, who you're rooting for because he's hateable, but he's also likable. It's like a weird thing going on. To me, this character was completely hateable.
Okay.
I was not rooting for him, really.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's how it's supposed to be in the movie, but I'm just like, wow, this guy is fucking annoying.
I already know I'm going to have a hard time watching this if that's the case.
Every scene is people yelling over each other. It's all anxiety-fueled madness.
We saw the trailers, so we kind of get an idea of what the story is and all of that. But that was the point of watching the trailers that I was like, I don't want to see this. When they're in the car yelling about the money that he owes some guy or something.
Yeah, if you don't like that. Now I give it a lot of props for being so fucking weird because it does not have... It's not like your typical movie like that where structurally you want to set up the screenplay so there's a moment of okay, I can take a breath and just soak in some exposition or story now.
Sure.
That doesn't exist in this. It is you're on to he pawns this thing to get money and he's off doing this thing, and from there he's off doing this thing, and he's got these guys chasing him, and he's got to get them, and he's got to pay back this guy. Oh, he's got to return the item to this guy. He's got to get the item that somebody took from him back, but that guy didn't meet up with him. He's fucking him over, so he's got to get in the car and drive to Boston. Oh, that guy fucked him over there. He's got to go back. He's got to go up to he's got a girlfriend and a wife, and he's got to juggle that whole thing. It's exhausting.
Yeah, that sounds exhausting. Yeah.
Now, it is good though. The performances. God, I got a cough tonight. I'm sorry, listeners. I hope you muted me. Or wait, muted your headphones for 1 second. I hope you used the force to guess that a cough was coming. But all the non-actors in it are good. Like Kevin Garnett's in it. Like Mike Francesa's in it. Oh God, what's the Mike Francesa? He's a sports guy in New York. The Weeknd is in it.
The Weeknd's in it.
The Weeknd is in it. And it's worth seeing, especially because of how weird it is. Now, a buddy of mine has a theory that, and by the way, people walked out of this during it. 2 people just left the theater. And my buddy's theory was basically it's coming out during the holidays. And to the uninitiated, it almost looks like some sort of like a heist movie. It's like Adam Sandler. It's not really marketed very well. It's not like,
I couldn't quite tell what that was. I mean, yeah, the trailers are kind of awful because I remember seeing it. It's like,
I thought the trailers looked great.
I'm like Adam Sandler in what looks like a sloppy movie about people yelling over each other.
It's the best he's ever been in anything I've ever seen him.
Wow.
He plays like a loud, like overbearingly stereotypical Jewish man.
Okay.
And he nails it.
Okay.
He really does. So basically he plays himself, but he's addicted to gambling.
Oh, Jesus.
But no, he's great. I would give it a B.
Oh.
I thought it was good. I didn't think it was, I don't understand what people expected who hated it, because to me, I watched the trailer and I didn't think it was going to be a
next
standard.
Week and I'll tell you what we were expecting.
I didn't expect a Hollywood standard movie. It looked like a weird movie to me.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I would recommend it.
Okay.
B. Give it a B.
B.
It's not getting near my top 10 list, though. I know it's on a lot of people's top 10 lists. It's not on mine. So take it or leave it.
I have serious doubts that it would ever make it on mine, but I'll try and see it before we do our list.
You're so judgmental.
I am. I mean, why do you think we have a podcast?
That's a good point. So we don't have these horrible thoughts in our brains all the time. We can
share them with you.
Share them with people. Yes.
Yeah. Terrible. That's a terrible thing to do to other people.
We don't do this for you at all. This is just for selfish reasons. Yeah.
This is therapy.
What do you have, sir?
I have Dolemite.
Dolemite.
I have Dolemite is my name. And, what a fucking treat this was.
It is. It's a treat. It's a treat.
You were talking about watching a movie that you were not in the mood for.
Right.
And you didn't like it. I watched this movie. I was not in the mood for it. But goddamn did it get me.
I think I mentioned to you that I had to force myself to watch this as well. Like, the wife brought it up. Like, oh yeah, why don't we watch that?
Yeah.
And that's the only reason I put it on, which is dumb. And I realized it was dumb like 15 minutes into it. I'm like, fuck, I love Eddie Murphy. Why didn't I watch this the second that it was out?
And he was Eddie Murphy in it, but he wasn't. You said it was like a laugh riot. I laughed
my ass off.
I found it to be very funny, but also I didn't find it to be as funny as I was expecting it to be based on what you said it was.
Okay.
It was a lot more character driven than I thought it was going to be.
It was 100%. I was laughing a lot at the, not so much as at the punchlines of the jokes, but just like almost like you laugh on an amusement park ride.
Yeah.
Like you're just having fun.
Are you saying this isn't entertainment? It's a theme park?
It can be both.
It's not cinema. It's not cinema.
It totally is.
It totally is cinema.
It's great.
It's really good.
It reminded me of old Eddie Murphy. Like you watch like Beverly Hills Cop. It's a comedy, but it's a good movie.
Yes.
Coming to America, The Golden Child.
Yeah.
That shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a real Eddie Murphy movie. It was great.
It was easily the best thing he's done probably since Shrek 2?
Yes.
And I mean,
I don't think, is there a question?
No.
Is there a possibility that there's anything else he's done that good since?
No. There's no way. There's no way. I thought, it's just a generally uplifting movie because I think he's such an underdog that you can't help but identify with him. And even if he is doing like blaxploitation, and even if he is doing stuff like taking these jokes, from these hobos,
It was great.
you still find him so endearing because, and like the whole point of like the thing is like he helped create community.
Yes. Well, and you bring it up like stealing the jokes from the hobos, but they weren't really jokes to them. It was just taking their fucking lunacy and their crazy stories.
Right.
And having the genius to realize like, oh, every time these guys are around it gets a reaction.
Yeah. Well, and also he also noted like he would have to sort of tweak the jokes a little bit. He would have to add new words in or change the animal they're talking about, whatever the fuck it is.
The bits where he's standing up just doing the like rhyming, and it's fucking great. I also love I guess spoilers. There's a bit in this where they go to the popular comedy of the time.
Yes.
And it's a Walter Matthau, Jack Lemmon movie.
Yes.
I forget what movie it is, but basically everyone's laughing like it's fucking hilarious. And there's the four black dudes that are just looking at the screen going like, what the fuck is this? And I thought that the genius of recognizing that by him, that there is this sliver of people, and nobody's going to understand what I'm trying to do because everyone who's in a position of power, they're not us. They don't get it. And he still just pushes on.
Well, and it's why you like him is because he doesn't take no for an answer, even though life keeps basically telling him to shut up.
Yeah, he's one of those 1 step forward, 3 step back type of stories. It's kind of one of those. Yeah.
And there was a moment. I don't know why this is coming to my mind, but there was a moment of physical abuse in this.
Yeah.
And I'm so unaccustomed to seeing that, I guess, at this point that it took me aback. But then when this woman hit her man back, I was like, all right, that was great.
That scene was great.
That scene, and then the subsequent scene after where Dolemite goes and talks to her and sort of, brings her into sort of his fold, was so great.
There's a lot of really good stuff in that.
Yeah.
All the performances by the supporting cast are all fucking like Wesley Snipes is awesome in it.
And like we talk about representation in movies sometimes, and it can be like sometimes it can be a contentious conversation. And not just with you and I, but just in general pop culture.
Right.
But the woman, this bigger black woman, makes such a point for representation in this movies because, like, people between this and like Kate McKinnon's thing about seeing Ellen on TV and like basically almost Ellen telling her it's okay to be you, in that setting on TV, giving you that validation, and then this woman saying, "Thank you for putting me in your movie because I have never seen a woman who looked like me on that big screen."
Yeah.
And she breaks down a bit, and Dolemite kind of makes a joke and makes it all okay
Dolemite's
again.
the man.
But it's the reason that representation in movies is important, is because people feel unseen and people need to feel seen to feel validated sometimes.
Well, yeah. So I would agree with that to an extent. I think it's a little different now. It's crazy to think
you can take it to an extreme, obviously.
Yeah, that's true.
And
that's my point.
But my point is in and of itself, looking to put people in movies who are traditionally not there.
Well, how about the fact that fucking all of a sudden this group of people had something that they could go see and laugh at and have fun with.
Right.
I thought the movie had awesome messages. It was really funny. All the performances are great. I loved seeing Wesley Snipes.
Wesley Snipes. Yeah.
I loved seeing him, and the character he plays made me laugh my ass off just because he's like this, he's got a bit where like he comes in to be the director and like, Dolemite's doing this action scene and it just looks ridiculous. Yeah. It reminded me of what that Eddie Murphy movie he did with Steve Martin, Bowfinger, back in the day.
Right,
That's what it reminded me of. Him like filming a movie, but it's a pile of shit.
This reminds me of The Disaster Artist.
Yes, kind of. Right.
But I
it
think
made a
the
bunch of
Dolemite
money.
is actually more competent.
Yes,
Than
100%.
than Tommy Wiseau.
100%. But yeah, no, Wesley Snipes is like looking at like, what the fuck is going on? And Eddie Murphy does that big gap tooth smile. He's like, how was it? Was it as good as Shaft?
Yes.
And Wesley Snipes is just like, I don't see any reason to film this again. Or whatever.
He's like, I don't see any reason in doing it again. And I love his bit where he looks over. So they got like this college kid who's the DP on the thing.
The Alpha Kid.
Yes. Great. Once again.
Yeah, he's always great. God, he turned into a scrawny guy. I hope he gets more roles.
Yeah.
Because he's always good.
But he turns to the kid and he's like, is there any angle that you can shoot this at that actually makes it look like he's hitting him? He's like, there's no such angle. And I'm just dying. And then and he's just mid-take, they're rolling sound and everything. And mid-take, he's just turning around, not even watching it, and just being like, what the hell's wrong with this man? Thinking he can do kung fu.
He was right.
Be a sex machine.
He turned it into a career.
Oh my God, it was amazing. It was amazing.
Dolemite.
What a fun fucking time.
Yeah, I love Dolemite.
I would give it it's either a B or a B plus. I don't know which.
Oh, that's an A for me. Straight A.
It's probably a
has a shot at being very high on my list at the end of the.
It probably won't make my top 10, but that just means that there have been that many good movies this year.
So the last one I have would be The Farewell.
Oh, okay.
So the plot
Aquafina.
of Aquafina. Please, if someone knows why she named herself that, please tweet me.
It's got to be something funny.
I haven't Googled it because I feel like, why should I care?
Sure.
But it is so bizarre. And it's Aquafina. It's AWK, by the way, people. I do know that.
Yeah,
but
get it right.
Yeah, this movie is about, apparently in Chinese culture, there's some sort of tradition where when someone gets the bad news that they have a cancer or whatever and they're older, it's practice not to tell them. So basically, Aquafina plays this girl who immigrated to America when she was 6, and her grandma has cancer. So the family devises a fake wedding for Aquafina's cousin back in China so that they can all see the grandma again. It's based on a true story.
Wow.
So basically, it's this entire big family reunion, and everyone knows that the grandma is dying except for the grandma.
Oh, wow.
And it's funny. It's poignant. It's incredibly good. It is one of the best of the year. Fucking Asians know what they're doing, apparently. I keep saying this every week. I don't know what to do with myself. I feel like I just need to only watch Asian movies.
And TV shows.
I would be a happy camper,
Kingdom.
I guess. Kingdom. Sons of bitches. The last 2 good zombie things, both Asian.
Yep.
3. Fuck. But yeah, it's great. Aquafina is, to me, as far as the people that were nominated for Golden Globes, it wasn't even really close. I assume she's going to win an Oscar. That's an assumption.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
She would be my... she might have beaten out Florence Pugh for me as Best Actress this year.
Wow.
She's great.
Wow.
Because it's a hard role because she has to be funny and sad all the time. Because her character is the one who's she moved to America when she was 6. So she doesn't jive with this idea.
Sure.
She's
your audience identification figure. Yeah.
But there are scenes in this where, actually, I think we've had the conversation actually off air about the whole okay, if we talked about it as an apology or something, or when it's okay, is it too dishonest if you know something to not tell the other person if all it's going to do is do them harm?
Sure.
So that's kind of the theme of this movie.
Sure.
And it plays out like I didn't expect it to. It's great. It's fucking great. It's another A.
Wow.
It's too many A's.
Too many A's.
This list is going to be 8 from the last 4 months. And then hopefully 2 sneak in from the previous list.
And we still have 1917 to go.
Fuck.
We still have 1917
And you know
to go.
that's going to be good. It looks
Yeah.
amazing.
I'll be interested to see if it makes in the top 10. Everybody's just talking it up.
It's a great idea to do, since this single shot thing is a thing now.
Yeah.
It's a great idea to do a war movie like that.
Yep.
Like, that's brilliant.
Yep.
Because if it's intense, it's going to be fucking crazy.
I'm waiting for... So we've gotten your drama in Birdman, and we've gotten now a war movie. Now I just want a straight action movie. If they could somehow pull that off, could be amazing. Or a martial arts movie.
They did a horror movie with what's her name from Avengers, the Olsen twin.
Oh.
Or not the twin, the other one.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. They did one of those. It was weird.
Okay. I've got one last thought.
Okay.
This is not shit we watched, but it was something that came up in the Golden Globes.
Okay.
So Ricky Gervais kind of, naturally we had to sort of bring up Martin Scorsese's thoughts about Marvel movies and being theme parks, not actual cinema. And then Ricky came out and said, like, I agree, they're not cinema. But also my thought is what is Martin Scorsese doing at a theme park? He can't get on the rides. He's too short.
So stupid.
But then Ricky kind of goes on and he's like, and now in Hollywood, everybody's putting on a cape or in a sci-fi show of fighting dragons. And, their job isn't memorizing lines anymore. It's going to the gym twice a day. And I'm like,
doing steroids.
And who's going to get the steroid award? And I'm sitting here and this is all well and good and
Sure.
good fun. But there is an underlying thing that you and I talked about, which is those damn nerds and their nerdy shit.
Yeah,
and literally it came down to there are too many actors doing nerdy shit.
That's true.
And that's what he said. And really that made my fucking point. This is the whole point.
There are actors doing a bunch of steroids, though.
Sure.
He's got a point there.
Sure. Okay. Does that mean they're any less good of actors just because they did steroids?
But
I mean, they're not in a competitive sport.
Sure, but this is a joke, though. Right,
but
he's making a joke. He's making light of something. Right.
But he's making a joke to also make a point. That's why we like him. That's why we like him for doing the monologues he does, is because he's making statements.
Right. But from your perspective, like he ripped on all this shit.
Right.
You can't get upset just because he hit something that you know what I'm saying? Like,
well, I'm saying I like Hollywood, but I like that he gave them shit.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is all I'm saying is this criticism, it's not valid criticism. It's those damn nerds.
Yeah. He doesn't get it.
That's all
we're
I'm saying.
just going to have to accept that.
That's fine. I'm just saying he made my point for me.
Yeah, well, so did Bill Maher.
Exactly.
Maybe him and Bill Maher should do an anti-nerd show.
Can't be quality. Can't be cinema if it's got capes on it.
How wrong? Well, and then Joker won best actor, and
right.
Yeah, so whatever.
Can't be cinema. Can't be cinema if you have a dragon in it.
I love some dragons.
Yeah.
Yeah, a good dragon.
Guess it means
Didn't
you're a
you
man
watch
child.
Empire? And are you not bringing up that you watched Empire? Did you just bring it up?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess we could talk about
son
that.
of a bitch.
I remember Star Wars. I cannot believe how fucking awful Rise of Skywalker, whatever the fuck the new one's called. I don't even remember.
The Rise of Skywalker. Skywalkers.
I don't
Skywalker.
Skywalker. Singular.
That's sad.
Who, like, these titles, like, who fucking cares anymore? I thought The Force Awakens was going to be like something cool, and it was just like, oh, it's a girl. What do you know? Fuck off.
The Force Awakens.
Hate it all. Anyways, I remember Star Wars.
Yeah, well, I mean, you watched the best one.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. This is Rogue 2. Rogue 2.
The Empire Strikes Back. The title is great.
Everything about this movie is great.
It is.
Fuck it. It's so good.
when you watch the original 3 now, even Return of the Jedi, it just makes you mad. Okay, I shouldn't say that because I have the ability to say, okay, I don't have to acknowledge those movies while I watch this right now.
Yeah.
I can just enjoy this movie as if it was 1980 or whatever.
Yep.
I can just get that shit out. But then what makes me mad isn't that the new ones ruined the originals, because I don't believe that. What makes me mad is that you have this thematically relevant, well done original story and this sandbox to play in, and you treat it the way that you do.
Right.
And I'm speaking to you, Disney.
The franchise has been completely and utterly mishandled. That's how it is. That's just how it is.
Mandalorian's good, though.
And somebody brought up I watched a video recently where a guy was actually making a really great point about Kathleen Kennedy. She produced Raiders of the Lost Ark. She produced Jurassic Park. She's been a producer on massive, huge, great movies. So you can't say she's a bad producer.
She might be a bad planner, though. She might be bad at making the...
What I was going to say is, I think that just because you're a good producer doesn't mean you're a good producer of everything.
Right.
Because this required planning. This was your chance to do a cinematic universe a la Marvel. Maybe not in the exact same way.
Yeah.
But it's the idea.
She gets a project. Well, she made these in the same way that probably the Indiana Jones movies were created, and that doesn't work.
Right, because they're singular. She was like, well, just treat each one like one movie. And it didn't work. It just didn't work.
The Empire Strikes Back's pretty good.
It's so good. So good.
Just looking at Darth Vader, the scenes with Darth Vader, when he fucking goes to talk to the Emperor, and it's just like the Mandalorian. It's just like the Mandalorian because you can't see his face, but you know how he's feeling just from how he's presenting himself, the tone in his voice. The end of the movie, one of my favorite parts is when they lose the Falcon again, and Piet thinks that he's fucked and he's about to get choked to death, and he's terrified, and Vader kind of just looks out the window and was like,
nope.
So there you go. There's your nugget of, okay, well, either wait a minute, he didn't kill that guy. Is he not just, is
he just distracted momentarily?
Right. Yeah. Right.
No, I'm watching that, and it's what it was for me was it was almost instantaneous because the movie starts, and I kept thinking about how a modern shitty Star Wars would have done this beginning. But the Star Destroyer comes in, and then you see these pods. It's all fucking silent, no goddamn Holdo or whatever the fuck.
Giant fucking Millennium Falcon chase. Yeah.
No, nothing. It's just these pods come down, boo, 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 different directions. You're like, oh shit, okay. Oh, boom. Then you go to the planet that it's on, and there you go. And then here comes this droid that you've never fucking seen before. Wow, a new creation in Star Wars in the first 2 minutes of the fucking movie.
Used in a creative way. It makes sense. This is how they're looking for. And guess what?
I didn't need fucking General Hux being like, ew, send out the blebly bloop droids or whatever the fuck. And then you fucking go there, and then you see the Tauntauns, and you're on this new planet, and they it makes sense why they would have the Tauntauns because electrical shit
Good
might
planet
not fucking
to hide at. It's cold. Nobody would ever want to go there.
Great. Yeah. And then you've got the abominable snowman fucking creature thing.
The
and
Wampa.
Yes. And then just think about this. Walkers were introduced in this movie. First fucking time. Those other ships, not the X-Wings, but the other one. Are they speeders?
Speeders.
The land speeders?
They call them speeders.
They're introduced in this. Yeah. How many new tech pieces and devices and creatures were introduced?
The asteroid slugs.
Yes.
The Minox.
Are you
chewing on the power cables?
Yes.
And they're used so creatively and wonderfully.
I'm just sitting here and I'm like, it's everything I want on a Star Wars, which is new galaxy, new shit, things are happening. What do you know? It's not, do you remember X-Wings? Hey, do you remember the Millennium Falcon? You remember how much you like it? Do you want? Hey,
that is very true.
Put it in your mouth. Open your mouth. Here comes the Millennium Falcon.
And you also have an absolutely amazing dramatic story going on.
Yes, that's. It's funny that I'm not even touching on that because that's the heart of the movie.
Yes, it's incredible.
But I'm just talking about the shit that as a kid and then subsequently as an adult, which I didn't even think about until Star Wars did this, but you need new shit in movies.
Right.
You just can't have the same shit all the time.
Yeah.
Fucking stop
story
it.
helps too.
Yeah, I mean, story is great.
Characters you care about.
You want to know how you build a climax in your third movie that works and is emotionally relevant? You have your characters actually spend time together.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
They start this movie together. They spent almost the entire first movie together.
Yeah, well, and you actually had like really interesting like cliffhangers at the end of it too.
Yep.
Because you had the whole Vader reveal.
Yep.
Okay, is this even true?
Yeah.
Like, what are we going to learn in the next movie about this? Han and Leia's romance is fucking great.
Yep.
In it, it's funny. It makes sense. They have chemistry.
Yep.
Yoda in this.
Yoda is great because Yoda is such a subversion of expectations, Ryan. Where you're like, oh, a Jedi Master. Oh, he's probably like Obi-Wan, or like maybe he's like
He's a badass.
he's a badass warrior. No, he's a little guy.
Yeah, and the intro to Yoda scene is amazing.
So good.
When he's like eating the little hot dog thing, and R2's fighting with him.
Mine.
Well, and it's funny too because like they've kind of at times turned Yoda back into that, but
that was all
really
a deception.
should have been that for 2 minutes, and it should be over.
It was all a deception. It was all a deception. When you understand the fucking movies and the fucking universe that they're in, God damn, it's like Star Wars doesn't understand Star Wars.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. No, well, some Star Wars fans don't understand Star Wars.
You know what makes Yoda cool?
I know it hurts everybody's
You know what makes
feelings.
Yoda cool? When he flips around with a lightsaber.
Right, no.
That makes him really cool. Look how great he is with a lightsaber. Fuck.
Well, even seeing today, I saw someone talk about how the revenge of the Skywalkers.
I mean, you really
was flawless.
The Return of the Skywalkers. Flawless.
And people were like liking it and agreeing and like
flawless. Listen to our podcast.
Yeah, it's
true. We
true.
spend like an hour talking about how it's flawed.
That doesn't matter.
Okay. So I watched the Red Letter Media review of Rise of Skywalker.
I didn't think they hit it hard enough.
They really didn't.
No.
But Mike said something that I kind of agree with. This is... I'm an asshole. I'm going to say it anyways. But I'm just reiterating what he said. If you like this movie, I question your intelligence.
Yeah, you said it nicer. I think he said something along the lines of like, I don't want to say that if you like this movie, you had a low IQ. But if you like this movie, you have a low IQ. And I'm not sure I agree with that.
I'm not either.
Because there's different ways that people can like movies. But you're right. If you stop and think about anything happening at any time in the movie, it breaks itself.
I think you have to be a stupid person to say it's flawless. I think you have to be a stupid or not understand, and then therefore be stupid, not understand the word flawless.
There's nothing wrong with it. Everything's perfect. Yeah. It doesn't matter. Oh, by the way, can we real quick, I know we're probably going long here, but real quick, can we talk about the fact, how telling is it that every day I get on social media, there's a new article with an interview of somebody who produced Star Wars explaining something.
Yeah. Well, it's a flawless movie. It just needs to be explained in 17 interviews. Fucking unreal.
Drives me. It's crazy that they would even explain anything.
I saw something. Chris Terrio did something recently. And I was just like, shut up. Nobody ever wants to hear you again.
Well, you're going to see there's going to be a comic book about like Palpatine and how he survived the Death Star. Yep. I'm assuming but you have to read that to understand how he survived the Death Star. It's not in the movie. That's garbage.
That's exactly what I said.
Complete garbage.
That's exactly what I said last week. Yeah. That's not how this synergy of multimedia platforms works. It's not how it works. You tell one cohesive story, and then you make side stories off of things that are like little interesting nuggets. Why did Maz Kanata have Luke's saber?
We're going to get
That's
the video game.
That's a story for another time.
In a video game.
Fuck it.
Yeah. It's horrible.
I hate it.
It's horrible.
I hate it.
Remember Star Wars?
Remember Star Wars? Just pop on Empire. You'll remember Star Wars.
Yeah, it's on Disney Plus. Right after you watch Togo, people.
Yep. But that's the end of the episode. I think next week we'll probably be doing our
1917. You got to give me some time. I need a couple weeks because there's going to be a couple things I need to rewatch.
In February before this. It's like our taxes.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not some, internet asshole like Chris Stuckman who just puts his out there on the first. All right?
Because he saw
I don't get to see the movies 2 weeks before they come out to us normal people.
You normies.
Yeah.
You know what gives me hope? The fact that their videos were trending. They're like top, like his and Jeremy Johns were trending on YouTube. By the way,
I'm really going to turn into a Jeremy Johns fan.
I like him.
I like him, yeah.
I mean, I actually think I like him more than Stuckman because he's actually like funny.
He's got more of a shtick.
Yes.
He's got a thing that he's doing.
Stuckman is great for like kind of like putting out
analytical,
good points.
Right?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know what we're good for. Rambles?
Just hating our audience and doing it all for ourselves.
What are we at? Wow.
Is this our longest episode ever?
I don't know. Close.
All right. Well, you better stop it then.
It's only about 2/3 as long as the Golden Globes. So you're welcome.